everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing some Distress Oxide inking and some watercoloring using ZIG markers. So first of all, I've stamped my Honeybee Forest Friends image and in Versa Fine Onyx Black ink. And I've also made myself a mask copy using Inkadinkado masking paper. I'm just going to peel the backer off it. And we're going to place it right over top of our image. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my background first, and then we're going to go back and watercolor our image. So just pressing it nice and firmly on our page. And we're going to start with our Distress Oxides. And we're going to start with fossilized amber. So just making sure. So I'm going to leave the bottom because I think I'm going to do a green base for my critters, but I'll come back to that. So we're going to start with our yellow. You'll have to excuse the squeak in my desk. Alright. So we're going to go with our candied apple next. I'm just going to rotate this just for the ease of the motion here. What I'm trying to do is kind of make a rainbow effect across our background. So I am crossing over into that fossilized amber ink. And of course you can come back over top of any of this and blend it, and we're going to do that. We're going to go back to our fossilized amber again. I'm just going to blend our two inks. That's the really nice thing about oxides. They blend like butter. So smoothing out from one ink to the next is easy peasy. Broken China comes next at the top here. Seriously, I have to figure out what the heck that is that squeaks on my desk. It drives me bananas. So just a little bit of overlap there. Come back with our candied apple ink again, just go over that. There we go. Then I'm going to pull in our Lucky Clover. Hoping that my hand being on this is not destroying anything. Oops, we got a green foot. That's okay, we might be able to fix that with a little bit of water. Oh, not too bad. Okay. And I think I will just take our fossilized amber ink and just blend that line out. Actually, before we do anything else, I'm going to add a couple of watermarks. So I'm going to grab a piece of paper towel here, and I've got my Distress sprayer. There we go. Let it sit for a bit. Let it pull up that ink. There we go. Few blobs there, but that's okay. That's part of the whimsy, actually. There's a real directionality to the splatter, so if you turn it around and go in the other direction here, I'm about a foot away from our image. Let it sit again. There we go. And then we can do our reveal. Not cute background. Something really, really simple. I'm going to take this to my heat gun so that it's perfectly dry before I start doing anything else. There we go. I just dried it with my heat tool. I also went in with a little bit of water and tried to get as much green off his foot as possible. I'm not too worried about it because I may add grass detail and over top his feet. So no biggie. So now we're going to use some, excuse me, ZIG Clean Color Real Brush pens, and I've got my master list here of all my colors, so I know what I'm picking. I've got a little piece of scrap watercolor cardstock to doodle on if I need it, and I've got my plastic piece of white cardstock that's laminated to use as my palette. Got a couple containers of water and my Grumbacher watercolor brushes ready to go, and we'll just get started. I think I'm going to start with our latest color, and that's going to be for our little chickie in the bunny's hands. So I'm going to start with lemon yellow. And we are going to push this around with water so I don't have to color the whole entire image. And I'm going to add a little bit of our just yellow, kind of where any of our shadows would be, maybe a little bit onto the tail. And then I'm going to take my number 4 round brush and not too much water. Use a piece of paper towel just to wick off any excess. And we're just going to pull that color around to color our image. So you really don't need a lot of ink to color in these images. Now I'm going to go in add a little bit more shadow, I think, behind his wing there. That's just a regular yellow color again. There we go. All right, some tiny spaces. Let's see, let's work on our hedgehog. And I'm going to do kind of start with a beige. All right, I got our beige color, and I'm going to go around kind of like the inner part. We're going to do his kind of belly and that first. Can always go in and add more color down his legs. Don't forget his little ear. Oh, and his one paw here. Alright. We're just gonna pull that color out. May get a slight green tinge here, so I'm going to make sure I rinse off my brush. There we go. Just a really, really light body. I think we will go in and add another layer, but let's let that dry, because we'll come back and do another. Actually, you know what? I bet you it'll pull out better if we go in and do exactly the same thing again, just go around that edge. So it's like working wet on wet. Sorry, I didn't get any closer to begin with, guys. There we go. So basically I'm just getting rid of those harsh lines. softening all that. Now I want to put a little bit of rose in his cheeks. So I'm going to grab a pale pink, and I'm just going to scribble a little bit on my palette because it's watered down. So we may have to go in and make this a little bit, yeah, see, it blended right in. I might have to go and find a little bit darker pink. Let's try flamingo pink. It's way brighter. So water this down a little bit, dab it off on my paper towel. I took too much out. There we go, that's a little bit better. Just a hint of cute little cheeks. They don't even have to be, it's hard to see on camera, I know. Alright, let's go and work on our bear in our background here. I want him fairly dark, so I'm going to go with a dark brown. Our bunny. I think I'll make our bunny appear white, so I only need kind of like a tint of gray, and I'm gonna use a warm gray to add the highlights and stuff for him. I'm gonna start with his body because it's put the shadows in. We can always go to a darker shade, but I'm gonna start with warm gray 2. So this, we're gonna make it like the sun's coming from that direction. His cute little tail sticking out there. I think we are going to have to deepen this, but we'll start with this so far here. All right. Let's go to our gray tint, which is just another slightly darker warm gray. Just putting in those heavy shadows. You could actually these are beautifully tipped markers. You could actually go in and add detail using these, because that brush end just makes it so easy to add simple detail. Alright, I'm going to slightly soften those shadows. So just a little bit of water. Pull it out for now. I may go back and strengthen them. I'm not 100% sure yet. All an experiment. Just softening a few of those things. Alright. Let's go and add some more color to our bear there. Liking my bear too much, but maybe if I dry him and we add some more layers, he'll start to look a little better. My bunny has been invaded by bear hair. Maybe we'll go down and we'll work on the basket here, and I think what we'll do is we'll pull in maybe the corally red. I need a little bit more orange added to that, I think, to make our proper color. So red carmine and a mixture of orange. Let's see what we can make here. I'm gonna use a smaller brush. This one's a number 1 round. We'll just put a base coat. I think we'll work on his quills. I'm going to use the, actually let's use it full strength. This is our dark brown. And actually let's go, okay, I'm going to put beige down first. Full strength right out of the pen. Which is the same one we used as his body. Go around the little beak, down the side of the bunny, right for his tushy. Then I'm going to add some of our dark brown to the edges, and then I'm going to blend it. Okay. So I'm just using my number 1 round. Just blend them. Pulling that darker brown in. We have to go in and touch this right just a bit. And blend that back out too. Added a lot of water in one spot. Go in and add another layer of the beige again to just darken up that area. And just a soft blend. There you go, that looks a little better. Alright, now I think we're gonna go darken our bear. So straight color this time being applied. Wow, he's super dark. Add color to our highlight here, and then I think we'll blend them. It's not perfect, but haha, what watercolor is, right? I think I'm gonna go in and just add a touch more shadow under his little nose there. Soften that out. It's not as bad as I thought. Lessons learned, right? We need the beak done, so I'm just going to use straight up orange. And I need to go back in and fix his ear, so I'm just going to do straight beige. Just a touch more to his feet. And then we have to do nose and ears. I think we will do kind of a rosy brown. So I'm going to take my beige on my color palette over here, and I'm just going to pink it up just ever so slightly by pulling in that other combination. And our little bunny needs some pink cheeks, so rinsing out my brush. Nice fresh water. We'll just add some water. Drops. Drop our pink ink in like such. And I'm going to do his nose. Generally bears have black noses, but guess what? He's getting pinky toned. Now, there, just dab it off bunny cheek. I want to see if I can get that brown off of his tail. Just moisten that up. See if I can dab it up. Alright, I'm going to basically just go in and darken his eyes with a gel pen, actually everybody's eyes, and before I go, I think we will add some flecks of grass, and I'm going to see if I can find my emerald green, just to kind of set the scene. So they're not like totally floating, they're kind of floating, but they're not. Go over some of the pen to darken. Alright, now I just have to find my black pen here. This is a jelly roll pen, so it's kind of glossy. I'm going to go in and do everybody's eyes just to darken them up. It'll make them pop a bit. So cute. And I'm going to do his nose as well. Alright, they stand out a little bit more. That's great. Okay, that's our coloring done. And I'll show you at the end with my final card.